Hello and welcome back to episode number 5 of Exquisite Interiority. It is a special 9-part series dedicated to taking care of yourself from the inside out, and it is brought to you by Empowered Podcast. And I'm one of the co-hosts. My name is Michael Abney, and today I'm joined with...
I am Marilyn Eaton.
Yes, you've been with me all day. Yay!
Yes.
Wow. This has been pretty cool so far.
Yes, it has been.
Lots of unexpected. I wasn't expecting me to go through the process while we were doing
Yes,
this.
you are. You are.
So I'm like squirming. So
it's so fun to watch, too.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about this one because episode 5 is about the throat chakra. It is about the word is expression. The sound is hum. Oh, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Color is a blue. The location obviously is in the throat. And the meaning of expression is to put thought into words. Wish more people did that instead of just talking. Put thought into words, utter, or state. And I know this is a big one.
It is. The throat chakra, I believe, is the most complex. And I was already talking about how complex the others are.
We are complex and
we
beautiful.
Are.
And this is fun.
It's amazing
to talk about this.
Yeah, it helps you see the miracle of life and the miracle that our bodies are,
That's actually what I'm getting really present to.
Yeah. The throat chakra, I will have to say, was the most difficult chakra for me for many, many years, too. I was constantly doing things to bring balance to my throat chakra. And it was funny, a few years ago, someone I didn't know well was doing a little reading just for fun. Just, but your throat chakra is great. And I'm like, hallelujah, finally. So that was pretty incredible. But it's complex for many, many reasons. The first, most simplistic way of looking at it is that this little neck, throat area connects our entire body to our head and vice versa. And there's energies running through it in both directions. Our head is receiving from our body through our throat, and then we have energy that comes in through our head that has to go through the throat and down into the body. So it's doing both all the time to connect the head and the heart. Also, the throat chakra has chambers of all of the other chakras held within it. So number one, I need to describe the throat chakra comes to the collarbone, or starts at the collarbone and then goes up. Some people say the ears are in the throat chakra. Some people say they're not. I believe that it's probably different for a lot of different people. I think that they are in the throat chakra. And sometimes the nose. So the eyes are definitely associated with the third eye. However, this is where we perceive a lot of things also, and translate those into expression. And we can express things not only with words, it's about artistic expression also. So, because this throat chakra is important with all of the other chakras, with these chambers. On the right side, it starts with connection with itself, the fifth, the third, the first. On the left side, it has the sixth, the fourth, and the second, and right in the middle is the seventh. So when we stretch our neck, there's a reason. We are opening up those chambers. We're getting those chambers to flow. Because when we are really in great balance in our throat chakra, we are taking information from all of the other chakras and expressing all of that. We're either sending it to the head and then bringing it back down out of our mouth, or we're bringing it down, going all the way through all the chakras, back up and through. Think about how complex that is and all the energy that has to move. But that's super powerful to realize that it's really expressing all of our chakras together.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's...
I thought it was just about talking.
I know. Writing. Think about writing also.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking about. How I have, like, I always wanted to write, or just, have it be clear, like what I was feeling.
Yes.
And with the creativity part of our body, which we've already went over, like that being able to come out of you in a clear and precise way.
Right.
When you read something that's written beautifully, it's like a really great glass of wine, or it's something that you love.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Wonderful.
It's beautiful.
But when it's not, it's so frustrating. Like when you start to write something and then you read it back and like, what the hell was that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But it made perfect sense before so would that be blocked there?
Absolutely.
So even though we're not talking it, writing is an expression of the same thing, right?
Absolutely. And then, but it is about speaking also, and when I talk to my clients about it, I say, well, it's about expressing, number one, to yourself. What do you say to yourself? That's really the number one thing that we think about in the throat chakra. Are you talking to yourself as if you're your own best friend, or are you saying terrible things to yourself on the inside? That's huge.
And people do that all day long.
Yes, they do. And we've got to learn to have our inside talk to ourselves, to be nice, learn how to counsel ourselves in a beautiful, eloquent way also. Because why would we wouldn't talk to our best friend that way. We wouldn't say some of the things to our best friend that we do to ourselves. So when we're really in balance, we're speaking to ourselves in a beautiful way, saying, oh, yeah, I did make a mistake there. But you know what? I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to work on expressing that in a better way. I'm going to work on doing this in a healthier way. So instead of just beating up on ourselves.
Yeah.
So languaging to yourself first, then you can learn how to counsel or language with others. And then still it can go to the right side or left side, but I don't want to get too deep into that, but we can sometimes say way too much, or we can say not enough, or be totally silent sometimes when we should be speaking. And then also when we're expressing, if some of our other chakras are out of balance, we may be expressing like anger from our third chakra, or something about a relationship from the second chakra, and it may not come out in the most beautiful, eloquent way either. So those are all, they're kind of a combination of imbalances, but within the throat chakra processes all of that, and our other chakras are balanced, and we put it all together, it can be really beautiful and amazing.
Yeah, okay, I still feel that tightness around my neck. But
Yes.
I think now we're in this subject, in this topic, like I'm seeing how all of the ones leading up to this, how they each have their, like, so you're not conscious of this and you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
You have no awareness of how energy works in your body.
Yes.
But when that starts to open up, how it all starts to connect, and like taking care of this side of ourselves first, I can see how massively overlooked this area of the body is, because it's processing everything. It's like a mainframe.
Right, and look how little it is compared to our body
Yeah.
and then our head.
That's holding it all up there.
And so there is the physical aspect too that I really want to tell a story about this. And as we do it, I want you to do this, Michael.
Okay.
Because I think this is going to help you to feel better. Earlier we talked about the belt flow, that band between the second and third chakra.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's also what we call a tie flow that appears sometimes around the throat.
Okay.
Someone that I love dearly was in the hospital, and circulation was not good. She was in a not very healthy place, and energy was not moving, and certainly, even the circulation of fluids and blood and everything in her body was not moving well. And the nurse came in. Her face was very red and puffy. And the nurse came in and she's like, man, I'm having a really hard time finding a vein open. I really need, to get a vein open so we can put this IV in you. And she kept working and working. She spent quite a bit of time. And she says, I don't know that this is going to work. We're probably going to have to do a port. Because she says, I'll call the doctor and have him check. But she says, he never finds one when I don't. And she says, so he'll come in here and check and then probably end up doing a port. Well, when she left the room, because I didn't know how she felt. I had done no energy work on her because I didn't know really how she would feel about that. And but at this moment, I just asked her, I said, is it okay if I do one little energy thing that might make a difference? And it was so simple. But what I did is I took, let's say I took my right hand, and you can do this to yourself,
Okay.
reached it around the left side of my body and covered like the back of my neck, the bone of my neck, my spine.
Okay, got it.
And you don't have to go deep. It's just very light, almost not touching. Then pull that energy around the front of your throat and over to the side and flip it off. Okay, now do the same thing with the other hand. Reach it across the back and then pull very lightly and gently across the throat and let that fall off. So with her, so I did that, and then I had to leave and go run an errand for her. When I came back, the doctor had been in and a vein had opened up. They did not have to do the port. And I didn't really anticipate that big of a change or shift, but I just knew that it would help the energy move. But that was huge to not have to have a port put in,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were able to do the IV. So Michael, how did that feel? Do we need to do another thing, or did that open it up?
It did across the front,
Okay.
and then I'm realizing there's a backside to ourselves
Uh-huh.
that we never think about until I'm thinking about it right now.
So
Because it was
take both hands and reach
Okay.
down as far as you can
okay.
on your spine. So you've got fingers on both sides of your spine. Let those fingers feel like they're really sinking in.
Yes. So we can yell at you.
Yeah. And then lighten it up and just pull a few inches outward.
Mm.
Yeah. Then move up again to where that was, where you're just above where that was.
Mm-hmm.
Deep breath in, really focus on that, fingers going in deep. And then lighten up and pull that out a few inches on either side. And if you need to do one more level of that, you can. And go all the way up to the hollow, which is an electrical point. And we're sitting here with headphones on and with electrical equipment around us
We are.
too. Yes. And then gently pull that out. Did that go ahead and open some of that up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Feels like I did yoga.
Yeah, and then there's one more thing at the end that I'm going to talk to people about doing too that may just finish it off for you.
Sounds well. Yeah, I can move my neck.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. So just cannot like just this movement, because I remember I was talking to you about the, you know, Chiron, listening to that, and like,
Yes.
but like, because that's what I felt like I was doing. Like, part of our DNA is quantum and can flux, and
Yes, and it's shifting and changing, and yes, that's what's happening. Is as you move up, there's shifting and changing going on that just needed a little bit of help clearing.
what a loving way to address this. Like,
Yes,
it
isn't
just
it?
never been in my. I don't think about this.
Yes.
Do you think about this? I mean, you do this all the time.
Well, this
It's
is my full-time
integrated.
job. I've been doing this for a really long time. So, which is, you know, all this information, you know, I've had several different teachers, plus just the experience of it, that, I mean, you know, I really don't have any notes on all this stuff I'm saying. You're just asking me and it's just popping out. So some of it is
Yeah.
wisdom from things I've learned from others and then just utilized on my clients and myself. And you just see how it works. It just makes sense when you understand the energy system.
And I love the connection, you know, because how I was taught to coach and what I love to do is more of the emotional things, and because
Yes.
I've always been able to see people's thought patterns around their head.
Right.
And so I was always fascinated that, but how it's all connected.
Right.
And
Right.
I love the give and the take of it, and actually love that we're participating today as we do this as well. So
Yes. So one more thing about the throat chakra, because I really didn't say this earlier, but these other chakras, you know, they're in a spiral energy. They're more of a round spiral, and their direction is clockwise. Okay, we clear it by going counterclockwise, but their natural flow is clockwise. At the throat, because of these chambers, we usually end up seeing it flow somewhat in a figure-8 pattern.
like a bow tie.
Well, yeah, like a big bow tie, actually. Yeah, but if you just draw, because when I say those chambers are all the way to the side, I mean like underneath your ear down to where the collarbone starts. So you can do that figure-8 all the way over, crossing over in the center, and just draw that figure-8 from both sides, and you're really doing some great work on the throat chakra.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
Yes, I feel so peaceful and relaxed.
Yeah.
What's a life lesson that being self-expressed or not self-expressed has taught you?
Oh, wow. I think it's really one of the most important things we can learn how to do is express ourselves effectively, but also with beauty and eloquence. We don't have to yell and scream when we're upset about something. As a matter of fact, it's highly ineffective to do that. And I think we can express difficult subject matter and things that are difficult
Powerfully.
to say to someone else in a beautiful way. We can do it in a way that honors both parties.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm still working on that.
No,
but
So it, like, what came to mind was, you know how each little group, we all have a way of communicating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, energy people talk energy language.
Mm-hmm.
Gay community's got their girl. There's just
Yes.
everybody's got their own
Yes.
way of expressing that, because that is exactly what you just said. You know, like there's an art to communicating powerfully.
Yes.
Not being better than or less
No.
than, just human to human. Let's have a straight conversation.
Right.
about
Let
this.
the ego out of the picture
Yeah.
and just be
What's-
honest.
Like what's so?
Yeah.
Like
With
what's
what's
so?
so, but you can always do that what's so Like if you've got something difficult to say to your partner, even, you know, you can also say the beautiful things about them at the same time. And you don't have to say, but you do this. You can say, I feel this way when this happens. It's probably my issue, which most of the time it is.
Mm-hmm.
However, we can just say how we feel about it.
And not make it mean something.
Right, and not make it accusatory or, you know, this is just how I'm feeling and I need support with this right now. Can you help me figure out how to make this feel better? So,
my takeaway is my takeaway from this topic on the throat chakra is I never realized really how much stuff is going on here. Like, I'm present to it now, which makes me want to take my level of communication even higher or better.
Yeah.
Like I can be more of that.
Yeah. And you know, I think when I first learned about the throat chakra, it was a lot about what I was saying to myself. Because I certainly was not talking to myself like I was my own best friend. Well, I mean, I spent most of my life, but I do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do now. If I catch myself saying mean things to myself, I stop. Say, yeah, that's really not, you know, if I were talking to another person, and I am another person.
Yeah, the most important one.
Yeah.
Taking care
it's
of you.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Taking care of me allows me, by speaking to myself that way,
you can talk to
then
others
I can
that
talk to others that way. And that's really powerful. Very powerful.
Yes.
And connecting the head and the heart in the throat is really huge too. And frankly, what we talked about today is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more about this chakra, but these are the basics. And I think if we really embrace these concepts first, then the other pieces just come along.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't learn all of this in the very beginning. This is something that has...
Well, that was our intention for this whole thing, why we're sitting here doing this today, is so that just starts getting opened up, addressed, moved out, so that you work, so you're able to fulfill.
So we have an aha. You don't have an aha if we throw too much information out there.
It gets too heady.
Yeah.
And this is more experiential, so.
Right. That's what I wanted. Yay! Thank you, Michael.
We're going to be doing a deep dive into this one too. So remember to like our Empowered Facebook page and join our Facebook group. This is where you'll find other like-minded humans like us that are waking up too. And remember, we are stronger together. And welcome to your Empowered Tribe. Join us for our episode 6, where we're going to be talking about the brow chakra or the third eye chakra. So we will see you then. Catch you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.